Welcome back to Harrisonville Community Center, where we are having Hoops for Hope, a benefit for Harrisonville Hope Haven shelter for women and their children. We're in the 2 o'clock hour, and the 2 o'clock game is going to be Pleasant Hill Johnson against Hollingsworth Harrisonville. It's going to be the 5th and 6th grade girls. And I'll run down the lineups, not necessarily lineups, but rosters real quick. For the hometown Hollingsworth girls is Cicely Carter, Jocelyn Corder, Bailey Edwards, Presley Feeback, Taylor Hollingsworth, Reese Seabolt, Bethany Sharp. And for the visiting Pleasant Hill, it is Emerson, Isabella, Advery, Addison, Kaylee, and Laney. Sorry, I don't have last names. This is all they bring up, so I'm sorry we can't give you any more information than that. But this is the 2 o'clock game, and it's the 5th and 6th grade girls from Pleasant Hill playing Harrisonville. I want to, at the beginning, I want to go down our sponsors real quick. Let me get to that so I can give you our sponsors. A lot of the sponsors that help us get on the air every day that we have games for the Harrisonville Wildcats are on this list as well. But these are the ones that really helped us make this a successful event today. And that is Mills Plumbing, Signature Will and Trust, Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center, Hollins Auto Sales, Lacey Dominic Shelter Insurance, Young's Tire and Wheel, Young Auto Repair, American Heritage Realtors, Atkinson Funeral Home, Cider House, Amazing Photography, Schroeder Chiropractic, Hometown Flooring, Excalibur Contracting, The Girls, Young's Construction, Land and Sand, Power Sports and Turf, Aflac, Jerry Ann Sasonis, The Barber's Edge, Church and Dwight, Sherwood Community Bank, and Yards Designs, Cass County. And their sponsorship helped us get enough funds to be able to provide $1,650 to Hope Haven today. Gave them the check in the noon hour, and was really excited about being able to provide them with the financial funds. Plus, we were able to also give them many supplies that they may need, diapers, clothes, and et cetera, that Hope Haven of Cass County would need. Had a wonderful conversation in that hour as well with Desi Long, who's the Director of Development for Hope Haven. And if you get an opportunity, we're separating each one of these games so you wouldn't have to necessarily go through the entire day of video. But if you get a chance, it'd be good to go back and watch that. She provides a lot of information on Hope Haven, the services they provide, and things that might be a benefit to somebody that is in need of help or somebody that you may know is needing of help. Right now it's 2-2. Both teams have scored one bucket, Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill. And Harrisonville has the ball right now. A shot missed, another shot partially blocked, and Pleasant Hill has the ball coming down. Chad's partaking of lunch now. He was gracious to let Jerry and I, and there's a bucket by Pleasant Hill. I believe that was Kaylee. But he let Jerry and I partake of our lunch early, and while he spoke, and now he's going to get that opportunity to eat as well. And Braxton is over here running the video for us. So you can see how wonderful a job he's doing. Another shot and rebound by Pleasant Hill. It's 4-4. Look like this could be a fun game. No, Desi really provided a lot of information. I mean, we're doing this for the benefit of Hope Haven, and she was able to provide a lot of knowledgeable information from her position, and wanted to be able to make sure that anybody that needed help had the idea and the place to go for resources and everything else. So I think we're getting a little bit of coaching from the referee there on the court right now, probably discussing certain aspects of the game to let them know certain things. I'm going to go back and one of the things that I read during that 12 o'clock hour when Desi was here was something that I was able to get. My wife was a director there at Hope Haven for several years, and her mom was one of the original fundraisers, and prior to Hope Haven being totally functioning, they had several fundraisers, and in one of the cookbooks that my wife has from that early days is a dedication to her mother, Margaret Coons, and it reads, Hope Haven of Cass County Fundraising Committee would like to dedicate this book to the loving memory of Margaret Coons. Margaret played a very vital role and part in the fundraising committee. With her help and hard work, we were well on our way to reaching our goal to building a shelter to help battered women and their children. So obviously that is something very exciting for me to be able to be here today and be able to be part of such an event, which is bringing awareness, but also trying to bring financial assistance and other assistance to Hope Haven. Score is 6-4, Pleasant Hill, with 2:36 left in the first. We just had a foul, and I think Harrisonville is now taking the ball down court. That's a shot. Oh, by Bailey Edwards. And another shot, again, really close. Well, I think that's a tie-up. The one thing you're going to get from Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill is you're always going to get a competition. They're always going to be playing competitively against each school. I think that they grow up knowing that. Cass County rivalry. Another shot and a second and a rebound by Pleasant Hill. Inbound, knocked out by Harrisonville. Well, the good thing about in youth sports, not only the coaches coaching their each individual team, but also you're getting a lot of help from the referees, trying to help them understand the game as far as from a discipline perspective, as far as fouls and different things and different aspects of the game, which helps them improve their skills throughout their growth throughout their youth programs. Harrisonville has the ball. Got a foul, a reach in. And we're going to be ending the first quarter. There's about 15 seconds left. Ball's in and a shot. Rebound. And it looks like 7 seconds left. Pleasant Hill's going to bring it down, see if they can get a last shot off before the buzzer. They do. And that's the end of the first with Pleasant Hill 6, Harrisonville 4. And I was gonna take a timeout, and if you got, I think Jerry's walking back up. If you can give me a commercial, we'll break to a commercial, and we'll be back here shortly.
One of Harrisonville's oldest and its most reliable realtors, American Heritage Realtors. With almost 40 years of experience, they will take all the stress out of buying and selling a home. Add in being the #1 seller of properties on Zillow, and American Heritage should be the only call you make when you're ready to buy or sell your home. Experience, reliability, and results. That's American Heritage Realtors next to Sonic on South Commercial Street.
And we're back. Beginning of the second quarter. Pleasant Hill 6, Harrisonville 4. 8 minutes on the clock. Not sure who's going to inbound the ball. Again, you're here listening to Fortees.com, the Hoops for Hope to benefit Hope Haven here in Cass County and Harrisonville. Pleasant Hill inbounds the ball. And it's going to be out on Pleasant Hill, and Harrisonville will inbound the ball from here on the side. And Jerry comes back up here and is stretching his back as well as I am. Been a long day, and we've got 2 games left to update you on the games that are going to be left, so you'll have that information. This is the 2 p.m. game. We've got a 3 p.m. game between McEnany of Harrisonville and Lowry of Pleasant Hill. That's a 5th and 6th grade game, a 5th and 6th grade girls game. And then our final game of the afternoon is going to be another 5th and 6th grade girls game. It's going to be Beauchamp of Belton against Sharp Long 72 Degrees of Harrisonville. Those are our next 2 games. So we'll be hopefully wrapping up around 5. But I feel like it's been a complete success from our standpoint as far as being able to provide financial aid to Hope Haven and also provide supplies for them as well. There's a nice basket by Presley Feeback of Harrisonville. Makes the score 7-6, Harrisonville. I think that's their first lead of the game. Second shot is off. It's going to be rebound, and it's going to be a tie-up, so it'll be Pleasant Hill's ball. Well, I guess Harrisonville's ball, excuse me. Inbound stolen by Pleasant Hill. You know, we've talked all morning about what a wonderful thing is to have the opportunity to have youth sports and having the community center here to be able to have a location to play these games. Community center provides a lot of opportunity for our Harrisonville residents. Got a lot of great staff that makes the community center successful. And another tie-up, and I believe that's going to go back to Harrisonville. Grant Perkey is the director of the Harrisonville Community Center, and Seth, who we spoke with earlier, runs this program as far as the youth basketball and stuff. We had the opportunity to spend some time with him and learn some of the things that are the happenings, not only with the basketball program, but also with other sports that are available. They're going to be available as the year goes on, even with the COVID. So Pleasant Hill with the ball, 4:35 and counting in the second quarter. A shot off the mark a little bit. And maybe a fast break here, and nope. Shot that was by quarter was off, but then I'm not sure who made that. I was looking down. Feedback, I think, made that shot. Score 9-6. Harrisonville's come back to take the lead against Pleasant Hill. Rebound by Pleasant Hill. And that's going to be a steal by Harrisonville. You got Braxton over here running the camera area. Doing a wonderful job. And that's going to be a steal by Pleasant Hill. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. More importantly, I hope you're enjoying the watching the youth play, having fun, and there is a shot. Oh, I thought it was going to go in off the mark just a little bit, and a rebound by Harrisonville. But I hope you're enjoying seeing the youth have fun out here. It's going to be the future of, and for Harrisonville, and in this game, Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill. Both programs are pretty proud of the successes they've had in the past, and they continue to have. And it's from this is what youth programs or high school sports do. And Jerry's looking at me because Chad's down there taking a break. He's not taking a lunch break. He's just taking a break. Because he's got a lot of people he knows, obviously, and a lot of people he talks to. As Pleasant Hill brings the ball down. Steal by Harrisonville. That again is feedback. And a shot by Edwards, and that makes the score 11-6. Harrisonville's kind of gone on a, I believe, a 6-0 run here against Pleasant Hill. Oh, and I think Chad's going to end his break. He's going to come back from his extended break, not only his lunch break, but his extended break from talking to anybody and everybody he can see down there that he knows.
Well, just so you know, that's Dr. Sharp and Coach Sharp. Dr. Sharp works at Schroeder Chiropractor with Martha Schroeder. So,
well, while you were away, Harrisonville, maybe you should leave because Harrisonville went on a 6-0 run. So if you want to leave and they go on another 6-0 run, we're okay, I guess. So.
Well, right. I mean, they don't want to lose, so maybe I should get out. Okay, see you later, Gary.
Yeah.
So it has been a fun day.
I was just saying that.
It has been a long day. But
I hadn't said that yet, but I think they got the. I think they got the.
Well, one of the things I do want to talk about is we were broadcasting. I think a lot of people don't realize when this game's over, you can still go back and watch it. We don't touch on that near enough, and it's mostly my fault for getting to mention it. I think a lot of people think you have this broadcast and then it vanishes, but all these games are going to be on our YouTube page from here on out. So. I mean, personally, I'm excited to go back and watch Braxton's game because I can show him things on the film that he may not have understood or seen. So it could be a learning tool as well.
Oh, yeah, and I was mentioning that, but I guess I wasn't finishing it up because I was telling them, that we're breaking this up into brackets and they could go back and watch it. I just didn't tell them exactly how they could, and I'm glad that you brought that up because I said you can watch it, but it didn't tell them how.
The easiest way for you to go watch it is search 4T Streaming on YouTube, and you can go find it. I encourage you to also like the page or subscribe to the page. Ring the little bell, as Jerry loves to say. Ring the bell, and it will give you updates.
That's not exactly what he said, but
it gives you updates as you go along, and you're able to know when we go on and have live broadcasts. So that's a fun tool and a fun thing to have as well. So
they can obviously, what you're saying is they can go to it. They can watch games that have been played in the past, and they can also get the schedule for what we're going to be doing. I mean, this next week we're going to be doing a Tuesday game, possibly a Friday game this next week. Then the following week, we're going to be really busy. We're going to be in a Tuesday, a Wednesday, and a Friday game. And then the week after that is, I believe, just a Tuesday game. And then that's followed up by the next week, which is going to take us into districts. So the next 3 weeks are going to be
busy.
Somewhat. Well, it's the next 4 weeks, actually.
For sure. But, I mean, I'm telling you, this is the heat of the time. You know, you got March Madness coming up, and we got 3 weeks of basketball here in February. Leads into March Madness and the district tournament, which will be fun. Different look this year. You know, we're so used to, in the past, we've had all of these games where you go somewhere and all your district games are at one location, but because of COVID, they've had to change it to where they don't have a district tournament host. So they're going to play on the higher seated floor, and they won't even have a district championship at a neutral location unless they've changed that. I mean, I know that that's something they're doing. I'll tell you, one of the things, to me, you may see some changes come out of this that become permanent. I mean, I personally like the
Like the football structure, basically.
Yeah,
to a certain extent.
I like that hosting. Then you don't have to worry about, what days do you go? Do you go Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or do you go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Like, there's always so much that goes into those scheduling because they usually put the boys and the girls at the same place. You might start seeing where you have teams that don't do that anymore, or Misha may say, let's be real honest, Misha's not going to do that because then they wouldn't make any money, and we know how Misha goes about making money. I mean, we've got it coming up in about 3 weeks ourselves. We're going to have to hand over the reins during districts to Misha, and all of our games will be a pay-per-view broadcast from districts on.
I hope they got some of that straightened out, to be quite frank with you, because football was a total mess, and it was their mistake. That's why it was a total mess, but they would never admit that. Now, obviously, you can read between that as far as what I think of Misha, but that's beside the point. Anyway, this year has been a unique year, and I myself kind of took a little bit more personal thought into it, because there's a lot of people that couldn't go to the games, the high school games, and we were providing that link for some parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, and just friends to be able to watch a broadcast, a football game or a basketball game. And so, and sometimes it was even, we were providing the broadcast for both teams, obviously, so a lot of times we had viewers from the other team. So I wanted to be a little bit more independent a little bit in regards to making sure we get some of those players from the opponent's teams mentioned. But this next year, it's going to be interesting to see what they learned out of this year, what they're going to do next year. One thing we haven't really talked about is an event that's coming up tomorrow.
We really haven't, and I don't know.
I know you asked Coach earlier for a prediction, but
if anybody doesn't know the story behind Coach Langer, I always ask him that. When Coach Langer started here, any good journalist does his background, and I wanted to check this guy out. I was like, who's this Langer coming, because his name doesn't look like Langer. And I was like, who is this guy coming in? So you do some research and found him on Twitter. And the first thing I found on his Twitter bio was that he was a Raiders fan. So I made sure, and you remember this, the very first game he comes up and does an interview with us after the game, I said, the only thing I don't like about you, Coach, you're a Raiders fan. He's like, he was just so funny that he took it in stride. It was so much fun. And so every time it comes up now, I always ask him, so who's going to win the game on Sunday? Because usually the Raiders aren't playing in that game.
Right.
So I had to ask him today because he is a Raiders fan. And, he said he did say something that struck me that I think that strikes a lot of people is it's really, really, really hard not to like Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, everything that kid does from top to bottom is first class, and there couldn't be a better
Role model
for my son than Patrick Mahomes. You know, Chiefs got a lot of talented players. I really love Tyrann Mathieu as well. I think he's a great role model. He's come from a tough upbringing. He's made mistakes in his past, and he's a grown man now, and he's grown up in front of our eyes. You know, I love Travis Kelce. That's another one we've watched grow up. You know, 5-6 years ago, it's so funny. I always talk to Angela about the Chiefs. You know, she loves Travis Kelce now. 5 years ago, she could have threw him out the door. She was like, I couldn't handle him. You know, he had the one game where the official threw the flag at him, and he
throws the flag back at him.
He threw his towel at him like a flag, and stuff like that. I like Tyreek Hill. I don't like Tyreek Hill's antics sometimes on the field, like the backflip into the end zone stuff. You know, that's when I tell my son, I'm like, you don't ever do that.
But did you notice something? I mean, we're talking about some of the antics some of the players had, like the way Travis Kelce was on the field, some of his previous years. Did you realize when some of that changed? And keep in mind, Coach Reed has been here for many years. When some of that changed was when Mahomes took over. You know, he sets a standard, I think, for all those that play with him to act a certain way on the field. And he expects it, he demands it, and he doesn't only expect it and demand it, but he also represents it. And he shows it from his actions, and I think they follow that. When you've got a player so impressive and that provides so much to the team, people are going to follow, and he has that opportunity to do that, and he is doing that, and you see that pretty much on the field.
Well, and people are probably like, what does this have to do with basketball? But it really does because it talks about leadership and learning leadership abilities. You know, obviously he's my kid, and I'm a little bit biased, but having Braxton up here, watching him learn last week, he flipped that switch from crying when he lost to getting mad. And a couple of kids on his team were like, we're always going to lose. And my son's like, no, we're not. We're not always going to lose. We're going to win a game no matter what. We're going to try our hardest. You don't see that. That's stuff that you can't really teach. And Patrick Mahomes has that. And he's got that innate ability to get the best out of everybody. Here's another example. What's everybody want to do right before the Super Bowl? They all want to get their hair cut. They want to look good. Pat couldn't get his hair cut this week because they have protocols in place where they have to test the guy for 5 straight days. Well, just so happened the barber that was there to cut everybody's hair tested positive, and they pulled him out and took him out. I saw a picture of Patrick a while ago rolling into Miami or rolling into Tampa, and his hair's all poofed out. But guess what? It wasn't about that. He didn't care that he's going to have that. So that's what's awesome.
It's more about the way he reacts and presents a good image and humble image to everybody. And he's done it to the city. You know, I know when years back when obviously Zach was looking for role models and stuff like that, Marcus Allen came to Kansas City. You know, and we all know Zach played football, and so I always tried to get Zach. I said, hey, when you score a touchdown, go hand the ball to the referee. That's what Marcus Allen was one of the best running backs of his time, but when he got a touchdown, he didn't celebrate in the end zone. He went and handed the ball and ran off the field. It's those kind of players that you really want to have as a role model for your children. I mean, obviously you want to be a good role model as a parent, and you want the good role models locally. But you know those kids are going to look up to these professionals.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, one of the things I like is, you know, you talk about that. I like that. You get a touchdown, you grab the football, you hand it to the official. You get a basket, you give it to you hand the ball to the official, whatever it might be that you're doing. And I always liked what Mizzou did when Chase Daniel was there. one of them would get a touchdown, and Chase Daniel would run down there, and they would all shake each other's hands, and then they'd walk over to the huddle. That was always a fun one, too, because they were congratulating each other on a great play there.
Yeah, because it's not the one player that scored the touchdown that made it successful. On a football field, it's all 11. In a basketball court, it's all 5. I mean, it's a team sport. There's not very many individual sports. And if you make it an individual sport, you're, for number one, not going to be a loser, or you're not going to be a winner if you do that. And I'm not necessarily talking about winner on the scoreboard. I'm talking about winner in life.
Yeah, and the one thing we haven't got to see a lot of today was a lot of the Harrisonville boys teams, the 5th and 6th grade especially. I've been pleasantly surprised with the girls. I mean, they had the game earlier where they had the comeback and they almost pulled it out in 1st and 2nd grade, and then the 3rd and 4th grade girls, they ran away with that game. And then our girls here in the 5th and 6th grade division, the Hollingsworth team is up by 10.
Well, they have scored 11 straight points, 11-0 run to make it 16-6 with 2:37 left in the third. And they've been doing it by playing very good defense, and they've been getting good shots, but also getting some rebounds, kind of like an Atkinson on the basketball court for Harrisonville. They've been getting the rebounds, one shot go for defense, and multiple shots on the offensive board.
And you got Coach Hollingsworth down there who was an assistant with Coach Gibbs last year, and then you have Coach Shellman as well, who was an assistant on that team as well. So a couple of coaches there with some varsity experience.
Yeah, and that can give the youth, the young men and women of the day, the opportunity to learn some skills and learn some good things from the coaching.
Well, it has been fun. Like we said, it's been a fun day. This one's in the 3rd quarter of this one. And I like some of the rules they have in place, especially at the lower levels. We talked about it when I was down there coaching. The 1st and 2nd graders, 3rd and 4th, they all get free throws at halftime. Gives everybody an opportunity to shoot a shot. A lot of times in a game, you may get a kid that's a little bit timid that won't shoot a shot. I was so damn excited. I know I shouldn't probably say much more than damn, but I was so damn excited for Asher on our team, Asher Dillio, to get that basket today. He hasn't I don't even know if he's made or attempted a shot all year. For him to get that basket, I was so pumped for that. And those are the things you live for, too, at that age, when you see him start making baskets. And I was so proud of him that he was able to make that basket today. So we got about 50 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter of this one, and the Lady Cats lead it 16-6.
And as you just happen to be watching, they had about 4 or 5 shots, got the rebounds, and just got the ball on an outbound. So they're still got 32 seconds left in the 3rd with an opportunity to maybe score.
I thought I heard music a while ago, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. I turned on my Apple Music somehow in my pocket. I was like, where's that music coming from? I was going to grab to talk about our great sponsors, and I had to turn some music off. So we're live here in Harrisonville. We're at the Harrisonville Community Center. I'm going to tell you, folks, if you got a family, this is a place to come and get a membership to. You have access to a gym, and this shows you how cool it is. If you see us here broadcasting, you may see that curtain on the right side of your screen. That's dividing this gym in half, so there is basketball being played on the other half of the gym that you can go and work out over there and do things over there while they are allowing games on this side. Right behind us here, there's a giant workout room with padding on the floors that they use. There's a workout facility out there as well with tons of different things. There's bikes, there's treadmills, there's ellipticals, there's all kinds of things out there. You go downstairs, there's more weights and such. And then there's also the Indoor Aquatic Center. It is freezing cold out there. There's a nice, warm, hot aquatic center. You can go take your kids, let them run off some energy in the winter.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Harrisonville has a lot to give. This is one of those things that not every town has. And, so it gives it's something that we're able to provide, or that's able to be provided to our public here, and you really need to take advantage of it.
I want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. First, I want to start with our signature sponsor of the day, or our broadcast sponsor to make this broadcast possible, Mills Plumbing and Contracting. They stepped on board. Cody, within, I want to say, probably an hour or two of putting this on our Facebook page, contacted me and said, hey, we'd love to do a sponsorship, and he decided to go with the big one, and that was the title sponsor. A shout out to him, and then a shout out to Church and Dwight Company here in town that employ a ton of local people. They came on board as well, and you see them down by the scoreboard over there. Those two, it started with those two, and then it was a steamroll down the hill with some of our great sponsors we have each and every day, and some new ones. We have Signature Will and Trust, and you know, that's Danielle Scavuzzo of Signature Will and Trust, and her boyfriend is Brad Sainer of Farmers Insurance. That poor woman. That poor woman. I mean, I hope Brad's listening, because I'm going to get a text if he is.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to.
That poor woman. I gave her a hard time. I messaged her and I said, hey, Danielle, would you like to do this event? Da-da-da. She comes on board, and I said, well, I know you have to put up with Brad. She goes, I know. Somebody's got to do it. So I'm giving Brad a hard time, as I always do. Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center, Earlene, they're an institution in Harrisonville. I mean, you two should know more than I do. How long has Troby's been around in Harrisonville? Because I believe they used to be over where Trade Fair is, correct?
I believe so.
Jerry, can you confirm or deny that?
I can't remember where they were at. They were somewhere before they're where they're at today on Plaza Drive.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, I mean, like I said, they're an institution. And, you know, I take it to heart when we do our football games, and it's the Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center first down. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances, because you have options out there. But they've been able to get into that market and put a stranglehold. Not only do they sell you those home appliances, they'll come out and fix them. They'll come out and take them away. Whatever it is you need to do. Earlene, they have all, Stacy, all of them over there. Jeremiah, I think is it Jeremiah? I think is his name. All of those guys do an awesome job over there. And every single time I go in there, it is so much fun to talk to them as well.
And shopping local obviously it helps not only the local establishments you're shopping with, but it also helps our community. You know, if you keep it local. So it's always good, if you can, to shop local.
Absolutely. And, you know, Lacey Dominic of Shelter Insurance. In the next game, I want to get to her team. They've got a team. They got a fourth grade team, but they're playing down in Springfield this week. Want to give them a shout out, as she helped sponsor that team, and they're down in Springfield playing, I think, at the Field House. So we will talk about their team a little bit later. Young's Tire and Wheel Center. You know, we talk about the people in this community that have really made 4T successful. Obviously, Troby's has been around since the beginning, but also William and Michelle Young. They've been around since the beginning, and both of their great business, Young's Tire and Wheel Center and Young's Auto Repair. And I was giving them a hard time because guess where they're at? They're
probably in Florida.
They're on their way to Key West. And they're going to be watching the Super Bowl from Key West. I said, I hate you guys. But American Heritage Realtors, Carol Looney, she's been around since the beginning. I mean, I think poor Carol, she probably feels like she needs to do this, considering we've been living in her house for 15 years. Me and Angela, we rent from Carol Looney. So American Heritage Realtors, Atkinson Funeral Home, they do a lot of good stuff with us as well. Of course, you know that name, Atkinson, be Kennedy Atkinson, his dad, owner of Atkinson Funeral Home. The Cider House, Jeannie Medaw and Jeannie and Chad, they do an awesome job up there with the Cider House, as well as Upcycled Orchard is their other business as well. So they're always doing great things with us. Kennedy May, got to give her a shout out. She's down there taking pictures. So if you want some great pictures of your kids in action today, get a hold of Kennedy. She's going to have a bunch of editing to do, but she does a great job. She had some awesome pictures after our Back the Blue event. I was really impressed with those, and she was able to do those. Schroeder Chiropractic. We were just talking about Martha earlier, and Dr. Sharp as well. She was up here talking to Jerry just a couple of minutes ago. Hometown Flooring. Linda Wise, who's a secretary at the middle school. Her husband, boyfriend, I'm not sure, I think husband or boyfriend runs that. I do not know his name, but he is awesome. He's done a lot of work around town. They've got a great showroom right there, and you could go see them. Excalibur Contracting, Mike Johnson. If you ever watch or tune into one of our broadcasts and you hear a police siren, you're not in trouble. Mike Johnson is just sitting there somewhere near us. I don't know how any human can make that noise, but somehow Mike Johnson does that. Excalibur Contracting, and let's be real honest, he's not the face of that company. That's Natalie Johnson. She goes, "Why are you talking to him? I'm paying the bills." The girls' professional fittings. Donna and Naomi do an amazing job over there. If you're a lady in town and you're wanting to get fitted, the fit is half the battle. And you go see the girls; they will get you taken care of. And they got a new one. They got a new girl working in there with them as well, Caitlin. She is a spitfire, and I say she's like a mix between Naomi and Donna.
Well, and we need to mention also they provided a lot of clothing for today for the Hope Haven. And so not only did they sponsor, but they also provided a lot of clothing for us to be able to take out there and give to Hope Haven and those that in need of it.
Young's Construction, Ethan Young, and he is getting ready to be married to Summer Smith, one of our other sponsors on our regular broadcast, CPSK Insurance. And their daughter, good funny story about Summer's daughter, McKinley, she was mad when the schedule and the day for this came out. She plays on a first and second grade team, and they're not playing today. And she goes, "Well, can you tell Chad that we need to play on a different day?" And so I saw her at one of the other events, and she was walking out, and I go, "Hey, I heard you were mad at me, McKinley." And she looks at me, and she goes, gave me that head nod and that look. But Young's Construction, they were a good sponsor of ours on the Back the Blue event as well. So shout out to them. Land and Sand Power Sports and Turf. Nathan Garlock owns that. Brian Garlock, who was our center on the football team, his dad owns Land and Sand Power Sports and Turf. And he's become a great sponsor of ours this year. He did the Back the Blue event, and he's one of our monthly sponsors as well. And he pitched in extra money for this. You have Aflac, Jerry and Sasonis. And if anybody doesn't know about Aflac, it is to help you get through the tough times. It is not insurance. It's a payment for you to get through those tough times. Jerry and Sasonis with Aflac.
Aflac.
There you go. The Barber's Edge. Dusty at the Barber's Edge. Want to give him a shout out. I've been getting my hair cut there for about the last 6 months. Dusty does an amazing job. Does a lot of outreach as well. So I want to give him a shout out. He had some donations as well for the Hope Haven. Sherwood Community Bank, another one of our sponsors that's been on since the very, very beginning. And Yard Designs Casco, that was Amber Cleveland. We talked to her a little bit ago, and she's the one that put the sign out front today for this whole thing. So we've got some great sponsors that stepped up, and I cannot thank all of them enough here throughout the day. Without them, this wouldn't have been possible. And it's just been an amazing deal for us to be able to be a part of. This one's winding down here. The Hollingsworth team of Lady Wildcats is going to pull out a win. They are leading 23-10, and they're going to pull out a win with just 16 seconds to go in this one. Pleasant Hill gets a rebound, and they're going to push it up, and now it is stolen away. and there's a fight for it underneath, and it's going to go back and forth. I don't think either team remembered which way they were going right there. Layup will be up, and that'll end it. Final score, 25-10. Jerry is going to shut this stream down. If you want to watch some more basketball, join us on the next game coming up, the 3 o'clock tip, in about 14 minutes or so. We'll be back in just a little bit.